Hello and welcome back to WTCL round 9 of Autopolis. We are back for the reverse grid race. It's Mount Dion on pole, standing Chris in second.
And
And
we are
away we go.
underway. Dion slightly slower start than Lingvist.
Yeah, but Dion we have the inside.
Mendes also jumped Balash in before they even got to turn one, although Balash... Oh,
Oh,
mistake by Lingvist. Big mistake from Lingvist.
Chris is down to 6. And Mendes now
Yeah.
second.
Ties into the top four. Good result for Drake. 95th. Lingvist down to 6th. Then the two pair of orange got Lickson getting racy down the inside on DA. So look by Torres down the inside on Balajin as he tries to get up into the podium places. Bit out of shape there though, and Balajin's going to hold that. 95th, Lingvist 6th. Then comes Babinu, who goes down the inside on Lingvist. Didn't work out there though. You can see Torres. He wants this podium. He wants to get ahead of Balajin. Knight making a bit of contact with the back of him there. This is 6th place. Dion gets the perfect lap 1, but now she's got to defend him with Alfonso Mendes, who is in 2nd. And of course, we know the MB is much faster than the Nervo, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, look here.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Down
behind these
here.
lot. See all these little trains. We're going to see if they're going to get more aggressive than yesterday. There's Cordova. By Nicolai Venezia. And then Hankinson and Firmino. Double DNF yesterday, of course, to Santos. Which is not ideal. Means that coming into this, Santos have not scored a point in 3 races. As it stands, they won't be scoring any in 4. Back-to-back weekends without a point for Santos. Before that, they only scored 13 when they went to Ayakasar. Balajin is still just there at Torres. Knight's on the back of him, though. Then Lingvis, then the two Paraguayans, and then they've a little bit of a train behind them, which I think goes back to Crow in 13. So, could get pretty dicey up at the front. 12.5 minutes to go. Dion has the fastest lap, of course. We'll see who gets it after this lap, as we see Knight having a look at Torres and now there. As we look further down, yeah, you can see this wheel train here goes all the way back to Danko Crow in 13. So, don't expect this to stay the finishing order. With 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go, Balajin's just put a bit of distance on tyres.
Oh,
One
there's a
of
pile
the
up.
Avenue knocking Lingvis into Knight. So you're kind of stacked up there. There's no real way to go. So you head through here. And just in 6th place. Torres on P4, there's Balajin in 3rd. Mendes is right on the back of Dion.
Underground
So,
driver in P1 under pressure again.
yep. Former Envy versus current Envy. Who's going to come out on top as they head through turn 1? Now we go to Dion. But only just. Balajin's already began to pull away from Torres. Then Knight in 5th. Keep it on the left hand side, see if anything happens. And there we go. Mendes pressuring Dion. Still for the race lead. If Dion keeps holding up Mendes, she could end up bringing Balajin into this fight. We'll have to wait and see on that front. But Dion leading for Mendes. Man on Dion. But of course, blow up in race number 1. Her 3rd DNF from the last 4 races. So we'll see. As Mendes had a slight look there, it didn't really happen. Then Balajin there's Torres and Knight. Well, the Iron Size has gone down the inside on a lower. Crowd got ahead of them. That's what that was. 10 minutes to go. So a third of the way for the race. Torres under pressure from Knight. You can see Crowd is ahead of the Mower, who's ahead of Cordova. Comes Nicolai Venezia. So, you know, as Mendes is going to need to get a good one out of the final corner here. I don't think he got it. See if he can make the move. We haven't really seen much overtaking with WTCL scene. It's a lot of down to turn 1.
No loop, but Mendes gets really close and
Oh,
Mendes makes a mistake.
Bad mistake.
With
Bad mistake,
Balashine.
Mendes.
Oh, and
Balasin's
Balashine got the
right at the back of
momentum.
them. Mendes just pushing that car to try and get past Dion. Pushed it too much, lost the back end. We have a look here. Knight has a look down the inside on Torres, but couldn't get it done. So Balajin hasn't got the raw pace to keep up with Mendes. Knight's now all over the back of Torres, trying to secure a good result for Rango in their home race. She was 10th in the first race, so decent platform to build on.
Nomura jumped Kra.
Yeah, the Nomura got back ahead of Crow at some point then. Now he's on the back of Muna.
That's 1 point for Nomura.
Eight minutes to go then. About to approach the halfway stage. Dion leads Mendes, Balajin, Torres, Knight, Lingvis, Bavenu, D8, Luxora, Boucher, Muna, and Nomura who rounds out the points. Across the line. So Dion gets through safely. So he's now gone past the halfway stage of the race. Let's see if Balajin can get ahead of Mendes, who I thought had a slight wobble at turn 1. It appeared that was definitely the case because Balajin's now right all over the back of him. Knight's also all over the back of Torres. There's that little train.
And that is
As we see Boucher.
Boucher.
Oh,
Just a little bit of contact.
7 minutes to go. Oh, fights further down the field. It's Betsky getting ahead of Rodel for 21st. And here you can see that little fight. Dion's miles clear, although Mendes is beginning to cut the gap again. Very interesting this, because you've only got 7 seconds separating the entire point. In fact, really, from Knighted 5th down to Nomura in 12th, there's only 3 seconds in it. So they're very well bunched up in the midfield. It's really spaced out at the front. No DNFs yet either, so we'll see if that
That's a
stays.
good sign.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't actually remember the last WTCL race where we didn't have a retirement. If there's ever actually been one.
Oh no,
There we
Manon
go.
Dion is out. Oh no.
Quick, press the button. She's still going on at the moment. Mendes is second, but he's beginning to cut the gap again. Balashine is beginning to lose touch with him.
Oh, and they lost some position. Lost 2.
Yeah, he's done by Boucher.
Yeah, and lost Lichstein too.
Must have made a mistake going out of turn 1. That's the other Esther
Oh,
going down
and
the
Cordova.
inside. Crowd goes into the back of Moonat. That unsettles Moonat. And the Moonat gets ahead of Moonat.
Cordova smashed in the back of Kra.
Is it Cordova who went into the back of Crowd? I thought it was Crowd went into the back of Moonat, but I guess not. Oh, mate, it was an interesting incident regardless. Oh yeah, no, it was called over. Okay, so yeah, he went into the back of not Lim, sorry, Crow. He went into the back of Moonat. That's allowing the Moonat to get past all of them. Either way, this is outside the points. Apart from obviously the Moonat and Moonat. 5 minutes to go then. Torres running P4 just ahead of Haley Knight in fifth. Well, look here. Boucher has got the fastest lap of the race again. She had the fastest lap of the race in race 1. So we'll see if she can keep that. Although with fuel getting lower and lower, cars weighing lighter and lighter, I get the feeling we might maybe see another good lap towards the end of the race. Those 2 points can prove extra crucial in the title fight at the end, when sometimes margins could go down to the finished. Could go a point either way. So it's
And GU is out of the race.
Oh, is he the first DNF? He is. So
he was already slow out of the corner.
Yeah. Oh, GU, of course, the Chinese driver. It makes perfect sense that he has died against the Japanese here. But there we go. Night running P5 has just slightly dropped off the back of Torres, and now she's coming under pressure from Austin Lindqvist in 6th, who, having made a bad mistake on the first lap, hasn't really recovered. End of the straight, not going to happen there, obviously. 3 minutes 55 to go. Having you behind them, and there's a bit of a gap back really now to Alexander and Boucher. DA in the lower. Well, DA. And
then, just try the move. Yeah. That gap didn't exist.
Mendes hasn't really closed up much closer to Dion. 1.4, it was 1.6, so looks as if Manon Dion's going to get the win. We'll have to wait and see, because we did see Cordova was like a, well, he was in the middle actually. He was the second player of Cordova, and then in one corner he was now only 2 tenths ahead, so we'll have to wait and see. It will actually be Manon Dion's best, well, Manon Dion's first ever win in the main WTCL. Her previous best result in the series came back in season 3 in race 1 of the Garland, I think that is, yeah. Race 1 of the Garland, where she finished 3rd behind her teammate Moonat, and savage in between the two of them was Roman Licksteiner. So, although saying that, Mendes got the gap down to a second, so I did say it is possible. We'll have to wait and see. But
2 laps
as it stands, as it stands, Dion on course for her first ever win in the main WTCL. Of course, she's won in the endurance before, I do believe, but never in the main one. Yeah, but it didn't really cost him time.
Well, 2 times, but 3.
Licksteiner is also not the fastest lap of the race. Kenneth Lim is out. No, he's into the pits, stuck in 4th, so he is out. It's not really been the season of Kenneth Lim. He hasn't really found pace in comparison to Cowan. It's not really gone his way this season. You can definitely smell a loan to ITCL incoming for that man. Probably. There we go. 1 minute 33 to go. There's Torres, there's Knight, there's Lindqvist, there's behind all of them, Avenue, who of course blew up in the first race.
Well, that's a move by Lindqvist on Knight.
Yeah.
But Knight is on the inside.
Yeah, Lindqvist is going to have to pull that white round the outside. I think he might have got a bump from behind for
Avenue.
He is holding it. He's got a beautiful bit of traction out of there. He's got right round the outside, but he's made it stick.
Yeah. A double right-hander. Lindqvist made it work on the outside.
Right round the outside, got beautiful traction off the corner and absolutely sent it. Austin Lindqvist with a great overtake, puts himself up to P5. And now has really formed a train behind him, which goes back to, is that in DA? Yeah, in 10th. Mendes has got the gap down to 7 tenths. with 38 seconds to go as they start the final lap of the race. So we'll see if we'll see really if Dion makes a mistake into turn one, because overtaking has not been the most consistent here. Into turn one we go. Let's see. Dion gets through there safely. Mendes was a bit slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost about 2.5 tenths there. I think that's enough for Dion to hold it. Balajin's actually all the while been closed up to by Torres in the fight for third. And then there's the train bit. Right, so 2-1. So check our flag right now. So this is the final lap. Just confirmed. We've got fights everywhere here because we've got a fight for fifth, we've got a fight for third. So a very exciting final lap incoming potentially. So you see Lingus fighting with Knight, Bamanu, and behind them comes Lipstone, Boucher, and DA. We'll have to wait and see. So you want to avoid getting rammed into and there. Yeah. We'll see if anyone tries to pull an Austin Lingus to overtake. It doesn't appear so, no one could have got these in the last of the points. So it's all over
really
the back
close.
of that. And just to cut the gap down to 6 tenths. Has he not made that mistake, it would have been 4 tenths.
Yeah, but these are long corners, not really hard
you're not really going to make
braking
a mistake
spots or overtaking. Oh, and Torres goes wide.
Yeah, he made a bad mistake there. So that's his chance for podium gone. But Manon Dion comes on the final call. Oh, she was slow. She was slow there, but Mendes making.
The gap stayed the same, so Dion won the race.
Dion wins. Mendes second. First ever win in the main WTCL for Manon Dion. Followed by Balajin, who completes the podium. Suarez is fourth. Good result for him. Then Lingus Knight at Wango's own race. Then Bamadu, Alexander Boucher, and Diana Mura Cordova last the point scorers. Then Munat, followed by Ezio, Crowd, Nikolaev, Farino, Hackinson, Lester, Betsky, Singh, Rodal. Bit of a gap back to the west, with O'Connor, Goldschmidt, Ryan, and then Nakajima last. Leaving you the only DNFers.
Yeah, so it's double podium weekend for Nürburgring and for Envy. I think Envy had 2 podiums coming into this weekend, and they just scored 2 again.
Yep.
It's a great
3
weekend
podiums in a row now for Envy.
Yeah, but I think overall Astor extended their lead.
Yeah.
Good enough. Sorry, it's good for Envy, but not good enough.
I mean, what's interesting about this is the only other time Envy have taken at least 3 podiums in a row was in last season when they took 5 in a row. Other than that, they've only ever achieved at best a 2, which they did twice last season. Didn't take season 3, but yeah. So Envy definitely are beginning to come back into that title fight now, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they always been in the fight, but they just, somehow
they always they get an unlucky DNF or something doesn't quite go their way. They got this weekend that showed that Envy are very much still, very much, yes. Yeah. So this weekend finally shows that Envy, that despite what the standings will say, they are still very much a threat.
Yeah, also Drake now jumps Tibergian, and I think Drake is now clear of the relegation battle, as well as Ironside and Shogun. Yeah, Rang also scoring
This
points.
result for Drake means that they do jump to Bergen. Upside down are still completely fucked. I mean, this is what happens when you go into a WTCL season under O'Connor and Ryan. Their only hope at this stage would have to be their Rumble driver to perform an absolute madness. But that's Kong Vin Lei.
Yeah, he's also not
I mean,
not a
6 points.
generational talent.
Yeah. I mean, if they had like Mathers or something like Tibergian had season 2 and season 3, maybe. But I think Upside Down are basically done for.
Yeah, Also, Ranga scoring now points consistently. Well, I mean, and yeah, they put all their hope in tonight because I don't think Nakajima will score points. Like if Ramkers wasn't able, then why would Nakajima score points?
I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but they can save some money as
Mm.
Nakajima is even cheaper than Ramakers, and I think only Goldschmidt was uh, getting less before it. And also, Ranga's finances are not really healthy. They got under $1 million, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with this weekend, I think Tibor
Also, the
again is.
good news for them is at the end of the season, as part of the Ramicas, when they are going to receive 450k, I think it is. So they're going to get some money, but I'm assuming it's going to be a case of just see what goes on and then just get the prize money and reassess. The issue with Tay United has paid a huge chunk of money, but she's also their best driver. And the second driver hasn't really fired, so they've loaned her out. So Ango in a good spot though. They're very comfortable. They're not going to go down this year. They can just get the prize money and go again next season because Knight is that good of a driver. Of course, the driver
Yeah,
that she lost out. Well, she of course I think. I'm going to check. Hang on. Yeah, and of course the driver who she barely edged out on the WTCL, the ITCL title fight last season, Wolfgang Bison. He's up for contract at the moment, I do believe. So gonna be interesting to see where he ends up. You know, Bison's a brilliant driver. He won the title in season 2. Got his confidence back last season. Now he's part of Envy. But it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
yeah, well, probably in WTC. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Liberté talking about potentially making a maneuver, but I don't really see why he
well,
would want to go to a
Liberty
team where
makes.
he. Yeah, I mean, he'll go to Liberté for one way, blow off, and get traded off to someone like fucking like Flatland or something.
Yeah, but
Like
like
Guns Own.
Liberty goes for every driver on the grid.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a logical move that I mean I don't know if the team has made the move for this, but I think a logical move for Bison could genuinely be a move to Ironside.
It's
Or
Ironside or Shogun or
yeah, and
Drake.
honestly, I think
Who's
I think an Ironside, a Vango, or a Drake, a team who's in the lower mid table, which suits his level of ability, gives him a nice select platform to go up against. He's got a proven teammate to go up against to prove himself. Of course, Ironside, you've got Danko Crowd has been brilliantly this season. You've got Vango and Amy Knight, who has proven herself to be one of the best drivers in the midfield this season. You know, you've got Drake with Torres, who we already know how good he is. I mean, he's carrying that absolute snail of a car and a team on his back. He'd be able to go in there, you know. I mean, if he goes to Drake, then they can finally begin to sort out a loan move for Goldschmidt and actually have him show how good he can be. You know, if he goes to Ironside, they can maybe start loaning out Lim to ITCL, gives him a chance to get his confidence back. We know how good he can be. And obviously, if he goes to Ranga, then they can keep Ramakas. Well, they're already going to keep Ramakas out on loan to the end of season 6, but it just means that they're going to have a solid second driver as a part of the night. And I think if Ranga can secure that solid second driver alongside Knight, they might not be 10th in the championship. They could be up there, you know, 4th, 5th, maybe. I wouldn't say the title fight, but I definitely think somewhere around where Platinum are right now, consistently in the points, consistently getting results, and proving themselves to be one of the most, you know, best teams in the league. Top half, easily. But whether or not those teams have made that, we won't know. And I think Bison's decision is tomorrow. Yeah,
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 Monday.
27th. So yeah, no, tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see where Wolfgang Bison ends up.
Yeah,
Whether
so
he ends up in WTCL or ITCL, I think he'll do a solid job at the team he goes to.
yeah, so that's another reason to stay tuned. The WTCR as we have the driver movement.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, tomorrow alone, we're going to forget about the likes of Bison's going, Betsky, Harrison, Rodriguez, Holzer, Darman, Hackinson, Thompson, even Singhu and Nemeth, and even Jarbo. So that's very good talent there. The only other driver I didn't mention is Henry, but that's because only one team has bid for Henry, and they get the feeling that might be Project R trying to renew him.
yeah, a lot of teams
But,
didn't realize that the market is open and didn't try to renew their drivers.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, and the market's going to shape up the go for sure. It always does every year.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be also interesting day. So make sure to follow the news, and next weekend we will be in Imola. Uh, that's also used to be interesting. And we have a break in ITCL. Yeah, it's on a WTCL.
Yeah. So just the might be JTCL. I don't think JTCL was on for a while. No, JTCL returns when the ITCL does, I think.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
That. Yeah. Ancadeco in Chile. So bit of an interesting place to go. Wonder if it'll be chilly or if it'll actually be hot. But it's chilly, so it'll probably be hot, but the joke works.
Yeah, so well then see you next weekend in Italy. Well,
Yep.
or in San Marino, but it's Italy. So
Yeah.
so until
So
then, goodbye.